Coming up next, we have the latest on the controversy surrounding Penn State's decision to honor Joe Paterno's 50th anniversary of the former head coach's first game.
And after 52 years, Columbia's Civil War has come to an end. The Center County Report sits down with a Penn State professor who has been following the conflict for 15 years. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Jenna Kaminsky.
And I'm Alex Blankman. As Penn State gets ready to renew a rivalry with Pitt on the football field this weekend, some are already looking ahead to next weekend. That's when Penn State plans to honor Joe Paterno, marking the 50th anniversary of his first game as head coach. It's a move that sparked controversy because of the Sandusky scandal.
Joe Paterno began his Penn State coaching career in 1950 after playing quarterback at Brown. In 1966, he became head coach. 46 years later, his career ends with 409 wins, 24 bowl victories, and 2 national championships. A Penn State icon, but one clouded in controversy. I stand right here outside Beaver Stadium, the house that Joe Paterno built. His statue stood right here until 2012, when it was removed amid the Jerry Sandusky scandal. Now, on the 50-year anniversary of the beginning of his coaching tenure, Penn State has chosen to honor him next week against Temple. People I talked with have mixed emotions about the plan to honor Paterno before the September 17th game.
The university did not think of how this might impact the victims, and this is a case that is still being litigated, so this preempts that whole process, so it's a very poor decision.
There aren't many details yet about how the university will honor Paterno at the game, and his family has been relatively quiet. But Scott Paterno did respond to a negative tweet about his father looking the other way, saying, "Never mind the fact that he reported properly the only allegation ever brought to him. Ask the Office of the Attorney General."
You know, it's controversial. He might have known, but we honestly don't know for sure. But as a Penn State fan and growing up loving Penn State football, I think it's fine that we get to honor him. I think he deserves to be honored.
Well, I think it's kind of sending awkward mixed messages because on the one hand, I mean, the Joe Paterno statue's gone. Who knows where it is? And on the other hand, now they're trying to honor him. Like, I just think that the message isn't clear, and I think that they should probably get on the same page.
There are strong opinions on both sides of the issue and what Paterno's legacy will ultimately be.
I do know that he made a significantly positive influence on our educational mission. I think that he has a great tradition, and by doing this, it diffuses it, it dilutes it, it undermines it.
The Temple game is when Paterno will be honored, kicks off at noon a week from tomorrow at Beaver Stadium.
A water main break in State College at an apartment complex is fixed today. Water was seen bubbling from the ground around 8 a.m. yesterday at Viro Village Apartments on Viro Boulevard. The office was notified and contractors were on site by noon. After digging a 5-foot hole, they found a broken pipe and attached a clamp to reseal it. By late afternoon, the hole was filled and the road was blocked off to allow the area to settle. Residents' water was shut off for a few hours, but now it's back.
Now that summer is over, election season is in full swing. Today, Bill Clinton is campaigning for his wife Hillary in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, and daughter Chelsea Clinton made a stop in State College this week to talk with supporters. Reporter Maria Dettinger has the story.
Some people traveled from as far away as Lancaster to meet Chelsea Clinton here in State College on Wednesday. The daughter of Hillary and Bill Clinton made a stop at the Center County Democrats office on Foster Avenue. Supporters there turned out to help with voter outreach, including a phone bank, and to hear Chelsea speak.
I admire her. I think she's just a great woman. She seems so intelligent and so much like her mom, actually, Hillary, who I adore.
Clinton received applause for reiterating her mother's pledge of equal rights for all, criminal justice reform, and the need to address climate change. She explained the importance of getting younger voters out to the polls and said only half of them are registered.
Chelsea Clinton emphasized how important it is for people to make sure that they register to vote in this next coming election.
So I'm working just like the volunteers are to get the word out about the election, get everybody excited, get everyone registered to vote.
The Democrats' office has 3 days set aside for phone banks and encouraged volunteers to come out and help. In State College, I'm Maria Dettinger for the Center County Report.
As for Clinton's opponent, Donald Trump is campaigning at Voter Summit this afternoon in Washington, D.C., and an event tonight in Pensacola, Florida.
If you need to fill out an absentee ballot here in Pennsylvania for the upcoming election, it's easier than you might think. To register, you must have a PA license, U.S. passport, and a student or government-issued ID. You have to complete a signed absentee ballot application by 5 p.m. November 1st. The info is online at votespa.com.
This month, Penn State will offer an early retirement package to almost 1,300 employees university-wide. The plan is voluntary and allows eligible faculty and staff a one-time lump sum payment of 100% of their annual base salary. President Eric Barron says the program will give retiring employees a major benefit while saving the university money in the long run.
A Penn State professor has spent years studying a civil war that raged for more than a half-century in Colombia, South America. Now, after 4 years of negotiations, the war is over. Reporter Maria Dettinger talked with the professor about this moment in world history.
Conflict in Colombia has come to an end after 52 years of unrest in the country. The dispute between the leftist FARC rebels, military, and right-wing government resulted in over 200,000 dead, 45,000 missing, and 5 million displaced.
A plebiscite planned for October 2nd will host FARC leader Rodrigo Londoño and Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos. Potentially, this peace deal could put an end to half a century of strife.
Penn State professor Alexander Fatal spent nearly a decade in Colombia among those heavily affected by the political turmoil of the state. Fatal has continued studying the events in the country and plans to attend the peace talks in the coming weeks.
It's really exciting after researching for so long questions of peace and propaganda and armed conflict there, that now there is a peace agreement that's coming to fruition.
There is still strong opposition in the country about the possible peace agreement, with some people angry about the lack of punishment for the rebels. Reporting from University Park, I'm Maria Dettinger for Center County Report.
Fatal leaves for Colombia next week and will stay up to date on his journey.
State College police have made an arrest in an armed robbery that happened on East Beaver Avenue on Labor Day. They say Torrey Williams is charged in the case. And while police have not been able to identify the gunman, they say they were able to charge Williams based on video taken from security cameras of private businesses. Investigators have not been able to confirm a connection between the suspects in this armed robbery and the one on Penn State's campus September 2nd.
Police have identified a man accused of shoplifting at the Nature's Pantry grocery store in State College. They say a security video from late August caught this man walking out of the store with items he didn't buy. The Nature's Pantry Facebook page posted the image and urged followers to help identify the man. A jury has found a local jail inmate guilty of spitting on a corrections officer at the State Correctional Institution at Benner Township. Guards were escorting 25-year-old Jarrell Sibley back in February when they say he became aggressive and threatening. They say he spit at an officer, hitting him in the eye and mouth. He'll be sentenced in November.
Pennsylvania government auditors say more money is needed to help reduce the backlog of untested rape kits across the state. And they're suggesting penalties against police departments if they aren't meeting and testing reporting requirements. The numbers show more than 1,800 rape kits had gone untested for more than a year. Some have been sitting on the shelf untested since the 1990s. The typical cost for testing each rape kit is $1,000 to $1,500. The state auditor general says the backlog is preventing swift justice. The Center County Correctional Facility in Benner Township is looking for a new permanent warden. Rick Smith has been fired after 4 years in the position. The prison board unanimously voted to terminate Smith because of what it called personnel matters there. There is an interim administrator overseeing the prison until a new warden is named.
Coming up, we look ahead to the weekend forecast. Will the September heat wave continue?
And we'll preview the big Penn State Pitt game in sports. Plus, down on the farm, one Penn State organization celebrates success over the past year with students and the community. More on that when we come back.